Okay, we should be live any second. Just gotta wait for it to come in. And I think, yes, we are live. All right. Hello, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Chris, and this is my channel, Bar None 11970. Thank you, as always, for taking the time to hear what I have to say. And this is a Valentine's Day podcast, and it's actually a Google chat. So if you would like to join into the conversation, and who knows where it will go, I did post the link in the description. It is 11:22 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on February the 14th. So at this point, Valentine's Day is almost already over. And I hope you all had a very good day today. And it was all about love. It was all about happiness. It was all about spending time with a loved one, whether it be a romantic love or family members, who knows. So I already see some people are coming in, and I'd like to welcome anybody that wants to come in. I posted the link in the live chat. So this is one of the rare times where I actually have a live chat going. So you're more than welcome to ask any questions, and we can go from there. But I was on my other channel, and I was doing a live show, and it was going pretty well until there was some disruptions. And I decided, you know what? I haven't made a video here in a couple of days. I wanted to talk to you guys, see how you are, communicate with you live, and who knows where it's going to go. But the one beautiful thing I want to talk about today, it's supposed to be about a day of love. I mean, you know that they commercialize everything. My wife and I spent the day together. We didn't do the candy and flowers and jewelry stuff, which, you know, if you do that, that's fine. There's nothing wrong with it. That's not the type of people we are. We enjoyed spending the day together. And to me, it's all about the togetherness. But you know how society likes to commercialize things. If you look at what Valentine's is meant to be for these days, it's supposed to be about the love. And that doesn't necessarily mean you have to have a boyfriend or girlfriend, husband or wife, or dating somebody, because there's been many a time where I've been alone on Valentine's Day and spent time with my family and spent time with friends. And, you know, it's a time to kind of look into yourself. And I hope no matter what happened today, you were okay. And the best part about when interesting situations happen, and we'll leave it at that, it kind of makes you reflect things in life about what type of people there are out there. There are people in this world that will believe whatever they're told, and they will never question it. And there are people who believe what they're told until one point something comes along or makes them start thinking in a different perspective. And there are some people that just know something's not right, and they start looking into things on a deeper level and finding out that things that we were all told are not as true, as crazy as they might sound. And there are confirmations when you communicate with other people outside of this particular type of channel. Because my other channel, those of you who've seen, it's about my comics and everything, and it's a different perspective of people. You know, you can't talk about sun gazing or things like that there, because they'll automatically think you're crazy. And that's fine. They're allowed to have whatever belief systems they want. Unfortunately, they don't allow others to have their own belief systems. But what I think it does when you, because if you've been watching my channel here for a while, you know that I've always said that when bad things happen, you can feel sorry for yourself, you can let it ruin your life, or you could say, okay, what positive thing can I take out of this tragic event or negative event or inconvenient event? And I was on a podcast of a person that I consider a friend, and we were having a good conversation, talking to a couple of people, and the person that was running the podcast had to leave for a few minutes and asked me if I'd take charge, and I was answering questions from people, and a person came on who made it very clear they don't like me for whatever reason. I mean, I've never met the person, but that's okay. People are allowed to have their opinions, and basically started to go off on me. And it got pretty personal to the point where I was like, you know, this is just not that important to me. And I stormed off. And I was mad. And I had a right to be mad. And that's okay with emotions. I've always said, you know, you cannot control your emotions all the time. but you don't let it affect your world and, you know, put a gun to your head or anything like that. And especially days like this on Valentine's Day, if you are alone or you're not with the one that you love or you have a loss in your life, it can be a very dangerous time for a person's emotions. And I say to keep control of them and think logically. And I've always said on my videos, think about something that's presenting itself to you. Maybe it's like an echo, where sometimes when you speak out, you're at the Grand Canyon, you speak out, you don't hear yourself right away. It takes a little time for the words to come back in that echo. And sometimes when we change in life, the world, the universe, whether it's God, whether it's Hare Krishna, whatever you believe in or don't believe in, if you just think it's karma, fate, luck, fortune, being guided or whatever, maybe sometimes when there's a point in your life where it's time for change or time to do something different, sometimes you might get an echo back of what your life has been as almost a confirmation of, do you want this still? I'm going to present it to you, even though you're saying you want change, even though you want to look at things differently, even if you say this time it's different. We're going to present the same stuff that kept you down or kept you depressed or kept you in a certain way. Do you want it? And the best part is you can say no and you can walk away. And one of the things I learned tonight, and it's good because you will always learn things. That's how you grow. I mean, if a clam stayed in the same shell all its life, it would die very quickly. It needs to have its shell expand. It needs to grow. It needs to continue. There's a reason why streams are clear and ponds, for the most part, tend to be gooky. And that's not the professional word for it, but like very full of algae, very green, very stagnant, not water you'd really want to drink from because it doesn't go anywhere, it doesn't grow. And I sense in people that tend to be set in their ways, that tend to want to think something like sun gazing or orgone pyramids is crazy just because they haven't heard of it and they lack the intellectual ability to research and they just go along with the tribe mentality. Those individuals, no matter how much they kid themselves about how happy they are, stay stagnant. And I've always said to learn. Oh, and 777, this is actually not the typical Hangout. People, there's a link up above, and I'll post it again. You could click on it, and if you want to join the show, you can. I'm fairly new when it comes to this on this channel, so I don't know if I did it right. So the link is right here if you want to click on it. If it doesn't work, I don't know, so I apologize if that's the case. But if anything, if somebody can get something positive out of, excuse me, even a sensitive day like today, then to me that's a beautiful thing. Because despite this person that presented themselves, and I'm not going to mention any names, but despite this person being very angry to the point where they insulted my wife, which I don't know why, because we're talking about comic books, why it had to get to that level, I don't know, but that's fine. And they did it in such an angry way. It affected me at first, got me very defensive, and then I was just like, you know what? This doesn't matter. It's not important. The individual is somebody I've never met, don't really have a problem with them, and I walked away from it. And now that I had probably about 25 minutes to calm down and think about it, I was like, wait a minute, what can I learn from that experience? What positive thing can come out of this? And it made me appreciate the fact that I would never do that to someone else, that I would not go out of my way to want to hurt somebody, whether I like them or not. And it made me look at myself and say, you know what? I may not be perfect. I may not be the best, but I am at least not the worst. And there is good things about me. And that is a beautiful thing to learn about yourself. And sometimes we need to be reminded about that. So, especially on a day like today, if you are by yourself, whether that's because of separation of work, separation of distance, a loss of a loved one, or you just don't have anyone special in your life at the moment, people tend to reflect or get depressed, and they could end up putting themselves in a path that could be destructive and not constructive. And a lot of times we need to sit back and say, okay, am I by myself because I need to be alone? Or I need to find a better way, or it's just not my time. And if you can learn something good from that, and it makes you improve, because let's say, for example, you've been an alcoholic all your life, and every relationship you've been in has caused you to drink more. Well, If you're in a relationship, like, for example, somebody that enables you to do the very thing that's destructive, then it's a positive thing to be out of something that could cause you to continue down a bad path. So if you look at it from a perspective of, yes, I might have loved that person or liked that person or enjoyed being with that person, if that person was not right for you, then it's a good thing. But we don't stop and think about it because we always focus on the now. We focus on the emotion. How are we feeling at that moment? And that's why we all overreact. I've done it. You've done it. And that's part of life. It's the dwelling on it for the rest of your life is where it becomes toxic. And right now I can see the YouTube chat. So Shannon Dahl, just so you say, she wrote down, Chris, can you see the YouTube chat? I absolutely can. So there is a link if you want to click on it. I don't know if it works or not, or if anybody wants to join in, because you guys know me. I'll go on a tangent for half hour to an hour, and that's perfectly fine with me. And if people love to listen to it, I love that. And see, that's the thing I think some people in this world don't seem to understand. And I think if you think of the bigger picture of human beings as a whole, not everybody's going to get along. It's unfortunate. We all wish it can happen. But the reality is there's going to be differences. There's going to be opinions. And if we spent more time looking in ourselves than we are at trying to push agendas to everyone else, trying to fit everybody in to the same crowd, we would be a much better species, in my opinion. And I think the reason that so many people seem so lost and so upset or so afraid or so angry for large portions of their life, because you'll get angry every now and then, you'll get depressed every now and then, you'll be happy every now and then. Believe it or not, even depressed people can get happy, because long time ago I had suicidal thoughts. Long time ago I wanted to commit suicide. Long time ago I've been alone. I know what it's like. But what inspired me is the hope of future and the hope of change. The problem with a lot of people in this world today, we're so used to being told what to do that we lose focus on what's most important. Because if you think about it, what's one of the most important things in this world? The almighty dollar. And if you think about the almighty dollar, or whatever currency that you live in, depending on what country or what corporation you're living in, it's all based on debt. It's all based on getting the people to continue to borrow their scheme, their concept, their paper product, creating less than the amount that is owed in the end, to the point where you have to keep grabbing more and more of it. It's like a drug. They want to give you some for free, get you addicted to it. Then you have to pay for it. Then you need more of it. Then you have to spend more money. And eventually it kills you, or you decide, you know what? I don't need this substance anymore. And you grow from it. And considering the fact that I'm not from Harvard or Yale or Princeton, I am not a person that comes from a corporate background. I don't work for banks. I don't work for the government. I don't work for the media. I don't say everything right. I don't put everything in beautiful perspective. I'm not reading from a script that I paid millions of dollars for somebody or thousands of dollars for somebody to write. I don't have a cue card in front of me. I speak from the heart, so I can only speak me. Some people resonate with that. Some people will absolutely hate that. But my thing is, if you look at yourself and really look at yourself, are you happy? Are you content? Are you angry and filled with hatred? Because there are plenty of people in this world I don't like, but I don't go out of my way to want to hurt them because of that. I have a live and let live kind of attitude, to the point where if people want to come my way, you can defend yourself. How you go and as far as you go, that's up to you. But my thing is, and I think the main concern of this world is people are so worried about everybody else and what they're doing. Like, you have to like what I like, otherwise there's something wrong with you. Or, look, 10,000 people are doing what I'm doing. How come you're not doing it? What's wrong with you? Well, there's nothing wrong with you. You just have a difference of taste, a difference of opinion. And if you see how the ruling class rules us through information, through religion, because if you think about even just the basics of religion, the concept of all religions are supposed to be about love. It's supposed to be about harmony. It's supposed to be about peace. It's supposed to be about unity and togetherness. And that is a beautiful concept. But think of almost all of religion in history. Has it followed that path? Have we become more united through any form of religion? Or are we building more hatred, more separation, more pain, based on people not liking someone because somebody else said they are bad? And that's why I like the fact that I have a comic book channel, because for me, that's something I did as a child, something I enjoy. And there are some people who literally, like this person told me to kill myself tonight. This is a person I've never met. This is a person I don't talk to, nor do I care to, who I was not referring to or speaking to at all, who in the middle of a podcast that I was invited to, was asked to take over, decided to join in and curse me out, and then get to the point saying that he sleeps with my wife, which never would happen, and I should kill myself. This is some of the people out there in this world that will literally wish death upon you because you think in a different way. And that's okay. That says more about that person than me. And he could have, or she can have, because I'm not going to say either who it was, but that person could have everybody else saying, yeah, great job, you really showed it to that guy. It still doesn't change what is. And this is the thing I want to, if I can teach anything on my channel, because, you know, back in 2012, somebody made a chop up video about me, and I didn't know as much in 2012 as I know now, because you're supposed to grow. And yet some of the people that have a problem with me have a problem with me based on the fact of things that I did and said and believe in that started in 2012 or beyond. Like, it's not okay to have an opinion. But what it makes me appreciate is the fact that I can change, that I can grow, that I can fail, and still maybe find something positive out of it. And we all can do that. And the problem is, the majority of people would rather be told what to do, be told what to say, to be told what is true, because it's easier. And if somebody comes along and challenges that, they follow it with emotion that they cannot handle. Because, like, for example, like I said, I was talking about comic books. Now, I do make orgone pyramids. I have videos about it here. I've made no mistake or, you know, thing about it. I have videos about sun gazing. Neither one of them have to do with comics, and neither one of them were in the discussion. And that shows that that person needed some kind of venom to point at me, that for whatever reason they did not like me, they decided to take what had nothing to do with the situation and bring it in as a way to try and insult me. Like, it's going to hurt me that I've done research, that I know things that that individual does not. And if I can share anything for people, I want to share your inner strength. Because let me tell you the reality, ladies and gentlemen. The more you research, the more you learn, the more you grow, and the higher you raise your vibration, the further away you get from other people. And because we all want to be loved, we all want to be liked, we all want to be appreciated, we all want to be heard, that separation is difficult for many to handle. And there's a reason why they say it is lonely at the top. Most people don't want to be lifted up. They want to be grounded. Why do you think the world teaches you got to keep both feet planted firmly on the ground? They want to keep you down here where you can be controlled. That is where the masses are. And because most people are insecure and need other people in the tribe to justify their beliefs, to be told how to think, or to what to wear, or who to listen to, or what to believe in, they will never rise up from people like you who are different, but different doesn't mean bad. I would rather have 5 of you listening right now that appreciate what I try and do than 10,000 people who are watching laughing at me. Who do you think would matter more? And I'll give you an example of how numbers don't matter when you are true to yourself. Let me ask you this question if you're listening right now. And if you're listening, please leave a comment, make yourself be heard, because this is the best way to get communication going with anybody. Let me ask you this. What would have more effect of your life? 1 million people who are not really your friends, who will just use you and pretend to like you as long as you give them whatever it is they seek, and will never be there for you, and will leave in a heartbeat if whatever you're giving them is no longer there. Or one person that would love you unconditionally, who will be there through thick and thin, who believes in you and puts their faith in you. What would mean more to you? The 1 million pretenders, or the one that would do everything for you? Which would mean more to you? I guarantee you the majority of people, like Bridget just said, and thank you for posting that, is the one person. So let me ask you this. Does it really matter the amount of people in your life? Because I will take quality over quantity. And that is what some people will not understand. So Aretha, Tommy, Miguel, Shannon, you guys are appreciated. And I will never have 5 million viewers. I will not be the next PewDiePie, nor do I need to be. Because if you have to give things away, if you have to put on an act, if you have to give something that makes you sad, or just after a while you lose the excitement for, and you're just doing it, or you're pandering to your audience to tell them what they want to hear, then you are not being true to yourself. And that is something we are so afraid of. People are so afraid of being judged. And it's okay. It only hurts you if you allow it. Because here's the beautiful thing. That person that said those uncalled for, disrespectful, and nasty things to me tonight affected me for about 5 minutes. And I will not think of that person again while that person can't get me off their mind. So who really is the winner and who's really the loser? And that's okay, because I will forgive that person, even though that person will probably never ask for it, because they're down at a level that says, I am at a certain point. And when you start raising your consciousness and you start learning things that are different from what you're told, because you're not scared of what real truth is, or at least trying to find the real truth, you will always become different, and you will always separate from those who refuse to be uplifted. I mean, think about it. Think about being in the ocean, and you are tied with an anchor, and all of your friends are tied with an anchor, and you sink to the bottom of the ocean. Let's just assume you could breathe on the ocean, and you and all your friends are strapped down at the bottom of the ocean, and there are millions of people down there with you. Well, if you let go of your chains and you start floating up and no one else follows you because they like being around all the other people because it keeps them safe, will you have the same amount of people where you are as you're rising above? And that's okay. Only the strong people, now I'm not talking physically strong, I'm talking the emotionally strong, the mentally strong, are powerful. And that's why it takes a crowd of thousands to overcome one person that could stand up against all of them. And I'm not talking about a fight. I'm talking about a conversation. So it is going to be lonely. It is going to be difficult. But look at yourself and say, would you rather be one of the mindless drones that goes around hurting other people for enjoyment or pleasure, or they cannot control their emotions, and be one of the people that will never research things and mock things that they don't understand and follow along with the agenda just to have people around them, or be an inspiration to maybe one person? That's what you need to be reminded of on days like this. So whatever this holiday is all about is irrelevant. It's what you do with it. It's like anything in life. It doesn't matter what you're handed. It's what you do with it. Because somebody can hand you a gun and you could go around killing everything, because it's pretty easy to aim and pull a trigger. But what if you did a protection? What if all of a sudden you use that to save a life? But what if you did nothing with it at all? It all boils down to choice. And you could do that with anything. A car, can drive you where you need to go. It could be a temporary place to sleep. It can also be a tool that could be used to run down people and murder them. It's all what you decide to do. And Raj says, how much is it for the pyramids? Well, I do have a link on every one of my videos, or you can go to my main page and there's a link to my web store. I mean, I make them. And if you want to check out, there's different prices depending on what they are, but you're more than welcome to look. But here's the funny part, like let's talk about the Orgone pyramids, because especially on the comic book channel, there are people who think it's a joke, and that's fine. They're allowed to have that opinion. There are some of my trolls here that their way to insult me is to say, oh, you make Orgone pyramids. Okay. Well, if you actually look into it, things like lasers, things like computers, things like the first radios, they have crystals in them. This is not magic. This is learning a little bit more than what you're taught in third grade science. Now, people will say, oh, you sell them. That is very true. But I have a video, the very video that I talk about even mentioning selling them, I have a video that teaches you how to make them. So that would be a little counterproductive if I'm doing this channel, which is 99.9% talking about the government, talking about gold and silver, talking about inspiring your life, not Orgone pyramids. But if I was trying to do this to get you to buy them for whatever reason, it would be counterproductive for me to teach you how to do it. Because wouldn't I want to keep that information? Because then you would make them yourself. The same thing, I also make organic soaps. And some people have a problem with that, and that's fine. But again, I teach people how to make the very thing. I offer it as a service because, one, I love making them. And two, if I could make a little extra income so I could buy more gold and silver or buy a couple more investments in comic books or, you know, treat my wife to something nice, what's wrong with that? We're in a situation where we all need to clothe ourselves. We all need to live. And in a debt-based system, you either play the game or lose the game, because most people don't want to change the game. So Shannon says it correctly. If they have a problem, it's called jealousy. And that's true. Unfortunately, people do not know how to control it, and they look for other people to back them up, because you know what? Not one person defended me on that channel. Not one person. Even though when they look at the video, because it's on video, that's the beautiful thing, you know, stupid people are stupid for a reason. It's all on video. So you'll see that when they watched it, when he watches it, the person that runs the channel, because when he left for a little while, that's when the argument happened. What a convenient timing. But when they watch it, they'll see that we were talking, just having a nice conversation, and all of a sudden this one person comes on yelling, ranting, and cursing, and causing a problem. That's on that person. And not one of them stood up for me. But here's the thing. I don't need anybody to stand up for me, just like never have other people have the need for anybody else to lift you up. It's okay to listen to people. Like, for example, if what I'm saying or anything I've said in this video or will say in this video, if anything inspires you or makes you look at things in a different way, in a positive way, that's a beautiful thing. But never rely on me solely or anyone else solely to lift you up. Because if you know about most people in the world, most people want you to stay down because it's easier for them. Like, let's say, for example, use the analogy, like I was just saying, you're in the bottom of the ocean, you're chained to the ground with everybody else. Most people in this world will not see you unchain yourself and start going up as a good thing. They'll say, well, what are you doing? We're all down here. Why do you want to be up there? You're crazy. This is where we are. And some of them may even try and drag you down because they don't want to take the effort to unlock their chains. So they will make fun of sun gazing, even though they don't understand it. But meanwhile, if you watch even commercials on YouTube, there is some new drug that they are promoting, that I won't mention the name, where a side effect is possible death. So let me ask you this. The non-believers of sun gazing, how many people do you know have died from sun gazing? Watch any video on sun gazing for the people who really do it, not the people that have no clue or they express their emotions based on what they feel about something. Can anyone tell me one person that died from sun gazing? You'll never see it. When I talked about it in 2012, all of my trolls, oh, you're going to go blind. Well, to this day, I'm not blind because I can read Shannon's comment where Shannon Doll says, I only buy handmade and organic. I currently order from a girl 1,200 miles away, and she mails it to me, and I feel great about it. Well, last time I checked, the internet does not come in Braille. So I am not blind. People mock what they don't understand. So you've never heard of a person dying from sun gazing. You'll hear that their lives have improved. You can hear that they don't have to eat as much. You can hear it's like meditation. You will hear that it's cured them of illnesses, but you'll never hear a person die from it. Now, let me ask you this. How many people have you ever heard in your lifetime die from a medication? Where they take things, dozens of medications per year get taken off the shelves because they put these products out without proper testing. They finagle with the results. They put them out. They put side effects to the point where possible death is an alternative. And these people say that sun gazing is crazy. And they will have thousands upon thousands of people slapping them on the back and say, you tell that crazy sun gazer the time of day. And yet they'll take, I mean, listen to what people do. What is the main treatment for cancer if you go to a hospital? Can anybody tell me in the comment section, when you go to a hospital or a doctor and they say you have cancer, what is the first treatment they put you on? Let's see if anybody knows what's the first treatment that they will want to put you on if you have cancer. So I'll give it a second because sometimes there might be a little bit of a delay. There we go. So Leonane Miguel, and if I say it wrong, please forgive me, a bunch of people say chemo. Okay, so chemotherapy. What is chemotherapy? Well, it is radiation. It is poison. Let me ask, how many of you, if you went on a game show and the game show prize was a trip to Fukushima or Chernobyl, which happened in the 80s, how many of you would go there on the paid vacation? Would any of you go to Fukushima or to, again, Chernobyl that happened in the 80s? Do you know why you wouldn't go there? Because it's toxic. It's still to this day, decades later in Russia, a wasteland. And yet they will inject it into your body and you will pay enormous amounts of money to the point where you will put your family and your future in debt for something that kills you. You ever see a person on chemo? There's a reason why they lose their hair. There's a reason why they start looking like a zombie. You are literally putting poison in your body, but you don't say poison, you don't say radioactivity, you don't compare it to Fukushima or any other place that has radioactive waste. You say a nice word, you say chemo, and you say a lie long enough, it becomes the truth. So the average person in this world will insult sun gazing, which is natural. God created the sun, or whoever you want to believe in created the sun, just like you get air, just like you get water, and just like you can get food from the ground. The earth provides everything that you need. We are light beings after all. We are electric beings after all. Well, last time I checked, a solar panel gets not magically charged by the sun's energy. It just absorbs the light energy into the mirrors, goes through the wire system into a battery, charging it. But yet, they will call that crazy, but they will take a pill with a side effect of possible death. Look at antidepressants. The side effect of a lot of antidepressants. Now, keep in mind, when people are depressed, instead of maybe changing their lifestyle with a better food or diet, or maybe exercising, or maybe stopping and saying, you know what, my lifestyle choices are not going in the direction that makes me happy, so instead of playing victim, I should try and improve my life, they go to a doctor and says, there's something wrong with you, here's a pill, take this. And one of the side effects is possible suicide. And sun gazing is crazy. Think about that. People who have suicidal thoughts go to a doctor seeking for help, and instead of them trying to figure out what causes the problem so you can change the problem and prevent the problem from continuing, they say, here, now you won't feel the pain that is causing you the pain that you have. It won't cure it. It won't fix it. It'll just make you not feel it. But it might kill you, this product that you're about to take, because it may make you more depressed. That's not crazy, but this is what the average person does. It's to the point where you could watch any comedian at any point in their sessions throughout the years. They'll make fun of these things, and we still just laugh. And we don't see it as, wait a minute, I'm paying money and putting my family in debt, selling my house or selling my car or not being able to put my kids through college for something that could kill me and not cure me. And this is the analogy I give when it comes to medicines. Medicines are great. I mean, I've almost died from walking pneumonia in my life. And if it wasn't for the inhalers that I would have, I probably wouldn't be here. So they are good. But if I could find out what caused that problem, I would have no need for it. You're a dollar sign. That's what it's all about. And they want you to fight over your fellow human beings to keep justifying what they do and not seeing it for what it is. I mean, just look at the monetary system. How many people can tell me what the Federal Reserve sells? What do they manufacture? What do they create? And yet they have trillions of quote unquote dollars that they can give out to countries where they only print the principal amount. They don't create the interest. You borrow all of the principal amount. You have to repay the interest that doesn't exist, which means you have to continue to borrow more. So it is a debt-based system, and we still do it. Even Donald Trump is doing it. For all the Trump lovers out there, how many people are noticing all the people that work for Exxon, all the people that worked for Goldman Sachs, that are in his cabinet? And we keep going through a vicious cycle. And instead of us all lifting ourselves, we are spending time bringing people down. And what I want to teach to anybody, whether you're listening to this live or you're listening to it 20 years later, hopefully it's still around, that it is your choice to do anything in life. The right thing, the wrong thing, or nothing. But here's the beautiful thing. You could walk into a wall for the rest of your life cursing that wall for being there, or you could go in a different direction. It's your choice. It's not always that easy. But sometimes it's to teach you a lesson. Things that are easy you don't care about. When was the last time you thought about how complicated it would be to walk to your mailbox to go get your mail? You don't think that. But what if you shattered your legs or had this horrible accident and they told you you'd never be able to walk again, and you spent 5 years of painful treatments and exercise and therapy to get the strength up to the point where you made yourself go and get that mail? It would be the sweetest trip you've ever made in your life, especially if everybody said you can't do it. If somebody says you can't do something, it only is effective if you believe it. So if you are lonely now, for example, because today is Valentine's Day, and whether you think of it as an Illuminati holiday or you think it's just a day of love, if you're alone today, that doesn't mean you'll be alone tomorrow. But if you stay at home feeling sorry for yourself and you decide, I'm not going to shower for days, I'm not going to brush my teeth, I'm not going to comb my hair, I'm not going to dress up nice, I'm not going to go outside, what's your chances of meeting somebody? The problem is we focus on today and we focus on the past instead of saying that tomorrow is another day, because we don't know what is tomorrow or what is 2 seconds from now. Because by the time you hear me say this, those words are already the past. I can't bring them back unless I repeat them. And if I spent this whole thing, this whole podcast repeating the same thing over and over again, people would lose interest very quickly. We live moment to moment. You cannot change the past, but yet we're told to focus on it and base everything off of it, or live in the moment, which is fine. But you also have to pay attention to the future, because if you look at it from a road, if you're traveling down a road, you don't care where you've already been because you're not going in that direction. You can focus on where you are at the moment because you want to make sure you stay on that road. But you also want to make sure that a mile down the road, that road's bridge is not out. Because if you only focus on the moment, or you only focus on the past, you're not thinking about what's coming down the road. So think of it. That's why I like to put things in analogies. Just think about you driving from New York to California. You're going one way. Who cares what's in the rearview mirror? You've already passed it by. Why do you need to focus on it? Soon it will be out of sight, out of mind. Be aware of your present moment, because you want to stay on the road. You want to make sure you're going in the right direction. You want to make sure you're not running over anybody or hitting, a nail in the middle of the road. But you also want to make sure that you're going in the right direction, that you're not heading towards a dead end or a bridge being out. And even if there is, you can turn around. People always use failure as an excuse to give up. Life is hard because it's supposed to teach you to be strong. Working out is not easy. You want a perfect body? You're going to go through hell and back to get it. But you are proud of what you have when you've achieved the goal from your hard work. But today's day and age, they teach you, just sit back. You're the victim. You should be taken care of. Don't worry if everybody is going to love you and like you and agree with you, and you're a special little snowflake. Don't make any effort. Don't stand out. Don't be yourself. Don't do anything. We'll take care of you, said the evil person. Trust me. The spider will tell the fly that he will take care of him. It won't be a happy ending if the fly decides to take him up on his offer. You can do anything in your life. And look at this. I had no intention of making a video tonight. I didn't have any topic. And because an individual who I've never met, who I don't care about, who I will never meet, nor do I ever want to meet, did something insulting, abusive, and uncalled for that got me mad enough to think about it after a little bit, walk away from the situation, evaluate what I learned from it, came here to make a video that at least a few people here appreciate. So to me, or to you, is what happened to me earlier a good or a bad thing? Did I want it to happen? Of course not. Does anybody want to be insulted and attacked and accused of things you never did and have other people gang up on you or nobody have your back? Here's a beautiful thing. I don't need anybody to have my back. I have my back. My wife has my back. My mother has my back. That's all I need. You think I need 50,000 people to pat me on the back when they're just using me for something? No. And that person needed all the other people to rah, 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 cheer him on. But what it did was, because I took a bad situation and tried to find something good out of it, I created a video that would not have existed if not for the fact that that bad situation happened. So see how you can make lemonade from lemons? So when a bad situation happens, yes, you're going to be angry. You might be upset. You might even cry. You may even want to wish death upon yourself. But if you stop and think about, okay, what can I take from what's being presented? We all sit there and pray to whatever gods or meditate or look for something out there in the universe to explain things. And when they get presented to us, we don't want to hear them because they're not what we think they are, or we might not like them. Sometimes a bridge being out is a good thing. It might be inconvenient because you might have to take a longer way around, but it beats crashing to your death. Or maybe there was something really bad on the other side of that bridge, and now you'll never have to experience it. What if there were a bunch of criminals that would go to that bridge late at night, and when people crossed over, they would pretend to be on the side of the road needing a flat tire, and when anybody pulled over to help them, they would take them in the woods, rob them, and murder them? Well, if that bridge is now out, yes, you might have to take a longer way around, and yes, it might be inconvenient, or it might even piss you off because now maybe you have to go home. At least you didn't get killed that night. So if you think of things in a better perspective, that doesn't mean bad things aren't going to happen. It doesn't mean that evil people all of a sudden are going to love you or even like you. But if you could take a positive experience from it and do something beneficial, then it happened for a purpose, and you were smart enough to learn from it. So I thank that individual who treated me like garbage out of the blue and unfairly. And I thank the people for not having my back. And I thank myself for learning that it was okay to be angry. It was okay to be frustrated. It was okay to walk away, because now I am doing something that may help somebody else in a positive way. So I do it 100 times over. Let them laugh about my sun gazing. Let them make fun of my Orgone pyramids. Let them mock what they do not understand while they are bitter, angry, and abusive, because it makes me appreciate that I'm not them. And you should appreciate that you're not them. So yes, as Steve Huff says, gotta love the haters, because they will present to you the things you are asking the universe about. When you ask for a better life, or why are these things happening to me, maybe somebody will say, all right, let's see if you really want this. We're going to keep giving you all that drama, all that garbage, all that hatred, all that negativity. Because if you don't change, then you really didn't want to change it. And then you liked it because it was convenient. It was something that you're used to, because you don't have to work at something you're already good at. And we are all good at anger and fear and depression and loneliness and doubt. But we don't have to stay that way. It's all a choice. It's not always easy, and it can be inconvenient. And just when you think you've got the world figured out, a curveball comes and says, oh, are you sure? How about now? Use it as an experience. Use a day like this for finding something in you that is good. You are on this planet for a reason. You haven't figured it out yet. Or maybe you have and you're just not there yet. Or maybe you're on your way. Or maybe you're already there. And in the process of you going to where most people in this world are afraid to go, instead of them applauding you, they are trying to stop you, because they're too scared. And they're not smart enough to know it. And I guarantee you, there's one or two of them that are listening right now that hate me, that are probably from my comic book channel. But here's the beautiful thing. I will never go to their channels because they're irrelevant. I don't follow negativity. But if they can't stop thinking about me, what does that say about them? It's easy to be angry. You don't need to be a rocket scientist to be angry. It doesn't take years of education in communication or even English to learn how to abuse and hurt somebody. It takes a lot of effort to love and to care and to forgive. Doesn't mean you'll do it perfectly. Could I have handled my response to that person better? Of course. Do I take responsibility? Yes. But not for the fact that they initiated it, it would have never happened. But because I could take something good from it and transfer that goodness to help others, I welcome it. Let them judge. He or she who is without sin may cast the first stone. And there's a lot of hypocrisy in this world. So those of you who feel alone, those of you who feel sad, guess what? You feel. Do you think a murderer feels much when they're brutalizing and taking the life of somebody else? The person wanted to start a fight. That's when I was like, you know what? You're not worth it. And I walked away from the conversation, because they were getting to the point where they wanted to start a fight. I'm 46 years old. I don't have time for that stuff. I tried that whole thing back in 2012 when I was young to YouTube and didn't know what I know now. My wife's more important to me than some nobody that I'll never talk to in my life, nor do I care about to want to fight them. And I walked away. But that person will still be angry. They'll still be thinking about me, and they'll still be angry just for the fact that I go on somebody's show that wanted me there. I'm glad I'm not that person, and I bet you're glad you're not that person either. But we're the minority, and that's okay, because it's lonely at the top, and they'll never get that. So with that being said, I want to thank everybody that participated in this live chat. If you guys like this, I'll do this more often. I don't know when I'll do it, because you guys know me. I don't like a set plan. I like to do it when I have something fresh in my mind. I think that's when it works best. I found the biggest problem with my other channel was at one point I was scheduling everything on a specific time on a specific day, that even if I didn't have something to say, I had to come up with something quick just to do it. And I like the fact that when I feel inspired, I can give what I feel is my best. And if anything, you may not like what I say. You may not agree with what I say. All I ask for is just respect my freedom to have it. Because otherwise, why are we individuals? We should just be cloned robots that all do and think and be and are the same way. That'd be a pretty crappy world if you ask me. So those who love this, and I see the positiveness, and they see this is what matters to me. That moron could have 10,000 people patting him on the back saying, what a great job. You got him off the chat. Great job. But you guys and girls, ladies, mean everything to me right now, because not only am I helping some people out there, but this is also helping me. That's what the world is. It's all give and take, but it's the intention. I didn't decide to make this video and say, you know what? I need to boost my ego. I need to lift myself up. So I'm going to do something nice as a selfish means to get gratitude for myself. No, I took a negative situation, turned it into something good, placed some positive energy in the air, and it also brought me back more peace, calm, unity, harmony, and love. You get what you give. So that person can say whatever they want. They can see it from their perspective blindly. I know how I feel. And I love the fact that I've now maybe helped one person think in a different way, even if but for a second. That's what a legacy is all about. Not being a person that is loved because of what they can offer you. And you could be anything that you want to be, including nothing. Because whether it's God or karma or life or energy or whatever you want to believe in, the truth of what love really is, think about this. The universe or God or whatever you believe in loves you so much that it will give you everything that you want and allow you to do anything you want, including doubt yourself, hurt yourself, or even end yourself. Because the truth is, you have the free will to do anything. And because of what love is really all about, it's not stopping you from what you want. And we don't see it from that perspective. And if you look at it from that way, that means somebody loves you so much, they're allowing you to make yourself believe that you doubt yourself, or you're a nobody, or you're meaningless, or you really are that evil person that everybody pointed out. It's only that way if you believe it. And even if you did, congratulations, but you can change it. So I do this because it's just who I am, or who I want to be, or whatever stage in my whatever amount of time I am on this planet. Many people will not understand it. Few people will watch it. But I don't give a damn about them. You guys matter. Whether you're watching it live or you're watching it a day, week, month, year later. So go do something good. If you're lonely and you don't like being alone, use that as motivation to find somebody. But find them the right way. Change yourself if you don't like who you are. Don't point fingers at everybody else. Because you ever wonder why we point fingers and yet never get anywhere? It's because we're not doing anything to change. And the world is giving us what we're putting out. So quick question, Archon says, Chris, I have questions on your Oregon. How can I get a hold of you? Facebook, hope you could do a video on how to incorporate the Oregon energy into people's healing practice. Just think of it like any stone. Just keep them next to you and your belief system, and these stones will do all the work that you need. But I do have a Facebook page. If you go to Barnon 11970, I don't go on it very often, but on occasion, if I see a message, I'll respond to you. What I can tell you is do a lot of research. The more you learn about something, the more at the very least you could say, oh, that's full of crap, and now I know it because I tried to verify it. It's not always easy because there's a lot of liars out there. There's a lot of people trying to give misinformation or pretending to be something they're not. And that's why, for example, with Trump, I warn people about Trump all the time. He has conned a lot of people into believing he's the next Jesus Christ, and he's going to save the world. By their deeds you shall know them. Be careful. Trust in yourself, and everything else will fall around you. And even if it doesn't, you will be strong enough to be able to handle it. So on a night where bad things are happening and people try to hurt you, whether physically or mentally, you know that you could stand up for yourself and don't need anybody around you to have your back, because you have your back. And real strength comes from one, not from many, because it takes 1,000 cowards to gang up on one true hero. And that's why they never win. So thank you so much for listening to what I have to say. I hope you will leave a comment when this uploads. If you want to like it or dislike it, that's fine. I worry about the traffic coming here and the quality of the content of the people who appreciate what I do. And research. Don't just believe in everything that you're told, and don't follow the tribe mentality. Most people follow the tribe mentality because it's easy. Be better than that. Lift yourself up and know that when you lift yourself up, you separate from those who wish to stay on the ground. Thanks for watching. Have a great night. And please don't forget to have your trolls spayed or neutered.